Hello, hello, good evening, and hello, adventurers. Welcome to Ragnarok Stars 2024 GGH Qualifiers Semifinals. And yeah, we are your casters for tonight. This is James.
This is RKM King.
And yeah, RKM King, how's it going over there?
My green screen's kinda out of position. Was
Uh-huh.
able to correct it. But
Mm-hmm.
so we're actually nearing our finals,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just I think one more tournament day and we'll see who's the greatest,
Mm-hmm.
strongest or best team from GGH that will represent us in Ragnarok Stars 2024. Of course in
Yes.
Thailand.
And of course, if you don't know what Ragnarok Stars 2024 is, Ragnarok Stars 2024 or ROS 2024 is a regional tournament which will be happening in October. Representatives Gravity, a Gravity Game Hub, Gravity Game Link, Gravity Game Tech, and Gravity Communications will be holding a competition in Bangkok, Thailand. The ROS 2024 GGH Qualifiers is an exclusive GGH only tournament. And the stakes are even higher in this tournament, as not only will this determine GGH strongest, this is also an opportunity to fight stronger opponents and to represent GGH in an even bigger event. The overall champion will receive a ROS prize jewel, which contains safe to 12 armor certificate of 7 pieces, some small jewel fragment, and a large jewel fragment which contains like sealed MVP cards and real MVP cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is going to be a treat for the winning team for the ROS 2024 GGH qualifiers. RKM King, what are your expectations for tonight? Because tonight is is the semifinals, and the first match will be between Vindicated and Lambo ni Darling.
Well, I'm expecting, of course, better execution
Mm-hmm.
of tactics because we've seen it in the previous weeks or previous games that,
Mm-hmm.
we've seen in the previous games that teams are now getting creative with their execution. So some teams shown, let's say, expertise in slow methodical approach.
Mm-hmm.
Some teams showed expertise in blitz. So hopefully, they can find the proper, or should I say, the right mix
Mm-hmm.
between those two tactics. Because so we're nearing the grand finals, and hopefully, we can celebrate the win of the best team from GGH.
Yes, and yeah, I gotta say, the secondaries is quite something, especially the last match that we spectated, the match
Mm,
between Vindicated and KOS. It was really something. The quick paced and fast decisions coming from these two teams. Well, I think a lot of these games, all of the games rather, are pretty amazing. But I think for because it's still so fresh, it's still memorable to me.
well,
Right?
same goes for me. No, I am not usually let's say a PvP aficionado, or let's say a spectator. But
Mm-hmm.
this matches actually have shown that each class, should I say the meta class for this tournament,
Mm-hmm.
has really shined, especially uh, the GX, which was basically a new introduction in the GGH PvP
Mm-hmm.
scene. Again, the competitive scene, because in the previous years or the previous tournaments that GGH had, they were never to be seen. Or if
Mm-hmm.
they were at least present, they are technically memes or basically useless characters. But this time around, it's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
So teams were able to find the role or the perfect role for the class, and hopefully they can solidify the place of the GX in
Mm-hmm.
this meta.
Well,
Of course, going to ROS 2024 Thailand.
yes. Well, yeah, a lot of these things that um made the teams who they are today. You can see that the guillotine cross has been a meta class since day one of the
Yes.
GGH qualifiers, and let's see what will happen for today. As you can see, Sura going in from Vindicated, just scouting around. Lamborghini Darling as well, who is going to make the first move right here. Some vacuums on the floor for, of course, both sides, but they are just trying to scout each other, making sure they have a good position to attack the opposing team. But they want to be careful that they won't get caught off guard. So as you can see, Vindicated just using safety walls on the floor right now to prevent any attacks coming from Lamborghini Darling. And Lamborghini Darling gonna utilize that mechanic later on, while Vindicated also has that mechanic. I think Lamborghini Darling is in a better spot to use that suicidal destruction, especially with how they can pick off 1 to 2 members of Vindicated with a single suicidal destruction. On the other hand, Vindicated can take down Lamborghini Darling right here with a suicidal destruction, but I'm pretty sure only that Royal Guard will go down because they are just so close together and they can use different skills to counter that. Now Vindicated just keeping their distance. Same goes for Lamborghini Darling. I don't think they are going to attack just yet. They are doing their own scouting, feint bombs right here. Lamborghini Darling using that Sura to scout things on their side. And they just want to stay close together. They don't want to attack just yet. I think they're still trying to get a feel of their opponent. Meanwhile, Lamborghini Darling, their guillotine cross is actually getting closer to Vindicated right here. But no attacks just yet. And RKM King, I think they are at a standstill currently at the 4-minute and 50-second mark of the match. And Vindicated still holding this ground. I don't think they are going to just blindly attack. I think for Lamborghini Darling, they want to set up that curse circle and suicidal destruction, followed by that guillotine cross to deal massive damage against Vindicated. On the other hand, Vindicated right here, as you can see, they are spread out a little bit, but I think they're going to utilize more of their circumstances right here. As you can see, Vindicated and Lamborghini Darling are clashing right now. Cross impacts going against each other, and Vindicated are down to 4 members. Lamborghini Darling still has 5. That Archbishop, Guillotine Cross, and Shadow Chaser of Vindicated is still alive, but Lamborghini Darling lost 1 right here. As you can see, Vindicated just cloaking right. Cross impact, taking down that Sorcerer. Lamborghini Darling is down to 3 members. They have that Sura still, and that Archbishop plus that Rune Knight to try and take down the members of Vindicated right here. Lamborghini Darling is going to get caught at a tight spot. I think that Guillotine Cross really played well as catching that Sorcerer of Lamborghini Darling off guard, and now they are going to distance themselves from each other, and I think that Guillotine Cross just wants to take that hit, but who knows, he can get caught. That Curse Circle can do a lot of things. No, Sura going back. They still have that Shadow Chaser, Sorcerer, and Guillotine Cross here at the side of Vindicated, which can deal a significant amount of damage. Lamborghini Darling just not attacking it. Might wait for the right opportunity to strike, but of course there are traps on the floor. Shadow Chaser just going to cause a little bit of mayhem right here. Now they are probably going to get ready for an attack, Lamborghini Darling, but who knows what they are going to do. They need to have that sight right here. They have Sura and Archbishop to cast that Ruach, but that Rune Knight has no vision whatsoever, unless of course they bought a My Purple card. No, Sura will get like next turn on that Sura Curse Circle and that Archbishop. Vacuums on the floor. That what called this Guillotine Cross of Vindicated, taking down 1 more member of Lamborghini Darling. Lamborghini Darling is down to 2. Rune Knight will get the spell. Diamond Dust. Archbishop is just standing right there. Weakness, Ignorance. Rune Knight will go down. Archbishop is the only one left. as Vindicated will be taking round number 1. All right. RKM King. RKM King.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, sorry. I was actually muted. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was talking earlier, but I guess it was muted. But then again, yeah. So it was a, initially a good initiation from Vindicated, but they were countered by Lamborghini Darling by that let's say suicidal destruction
Mhm.
that eliminated I think 3 members of Vindicated. But
Mhm.
then again, they were able to recover and turn it around despite let's say numbers advantage between 4v5. So from there, they eliminated the opponents a 1 by 1
Mhm.
using that GX. So again, Vindicated showing what you call this their metal,
Mhm.
their endurance in terms of these kinds of matches.
Mhm.
So no matter the disadvantage, no matter the length of the matchup, I think they're showing, let's say, an advantage in terms of experience.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I think they really spaced out well. That guillotine cross had enough space to um just cause some mayhem against Lambuching the Darling
Mm.
earlier, while the other members are scattered. Of course, that switch out destruction um took some members out from Vindicated, and yeah, that guillotine cross, especially with that elimination on that sorcerer getting caught off guard there at the bottom of the map, that really changed things, I think, for Lambuching the Darling. They weren't able to easily scout things on the side
Mm.
of Vindicated because of the lack of AoE spells, right? So with that sorcerer, maybe they could have changed things like a diamond dust or some vacuums on the floor. These spells going off, especially with the
Mm.
Vindicated having that Archbishop still alive on their side. But yeah, the Vindicated just showing their experience right here. But it was a very very good fight coming from both sides. It was really close, I guess. But yeah, Vindicated just had the upper hand there in round number 1 because of that guillotine cross that lived. Yeah, that
Well, the
guillotine
very least they have,
cross.
yeah, the very least they have enough damage
Mm-hmm.
to recover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their Sura, which was originally one of their, let's say, ace in
Mm-hmm.
their previous matches, was uh fallen at the start of the or fallen at the start of the match. But then again, the Guillotine Cross stepped up, played this role perfectly well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, survived the whole match despite the ongoing chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like how Vindicated was just cloaking. They were just hiding
Yeah.
from their opponents. They know they want to utilize that kind of play, and I think they
Mm.
executed it not perfectly, I guess, but they executed it in a way that got them to win round number 1.
Yeah. Because basically each match is just a tug of war between advantage and
Mm-hmm.
disadvantages. And if you can push your opponent into, let's say, doing something different and not easily target your, let's say, squishy characters or, let's say, important
Mm-hmm.
players, then that definitely true of the execution and the initiation.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest, the Lamborghini Darling still has enough damage despite
Mm-hmm.
going, let's say, getting their 4 members eliminated. The
Mm-hmm.
remaining 3 are still capable of coming back from the game. But then again, with sturdy defense from Vindicated, they were able to secure the match.
Yeah, Labuching Darling has that Sura, Rune Knight, and Archbishop
Hmm.
still alive on their side. And we know how Sura can turn things around, like what Vindicated
Yeah.
did in the first round, I guess, of their match in the secondaries. And a Rune Knight can actually cause a lot of mayhem as well, especially if you get things right.
Yeah. If you
Mhm.
were allowed to, at the very least, hit for a few seconds, I think
Mhm.
uh, RKs are still decent damage dealers.
Mhm.
Well, in our case in GGH, it's or in the GGH qualifiers, it's not as popular as it was as compared to ROS 2023.
Mhm.
But then again, the class is still powerful and
Mhm.
can still perform the DPS role.
Mhm. Yeah, and I haven't seen much of the Royal Guard attacks
Yeah,
coming
the exit break.
into the exceed breaks and whatever they can do. I haven't seen much of it here in ROS 2024, but maybe we will see it later on or sometime in the finals. Who knows what they
Yeah.
will let us watch. Anyway, match number 2 or round number 2 is starting right now. Vindicated and Lambuching and Darling. Vindicated, the first ones to get out of their spawn point. Now, they are going to go for that early clash. No, Vindicated. Not here, but Lambuching and Darling going in. Sura not casting that curse circle. They just want to back out right now. And that Royal Guard using that sacrifice, but Suicide Destruction and Vindicated will lose 3 members immediately right here as Lambuching and Darling still has 6. Vindicated down to 4. Again, they still have that Archbishop, Guilting Cross, Sura, and that sorcerer left on the side of Vindicated. While Lambuching ni Darling has that Royal Guard, Archbishop, Sura, sorcerer, and Rune Knight.
Hmm.
So I think they can still, Lambuching ni Darling can still dish out a lot of damage right here. But Vindicated, I think, wants to play it out in a very stealthy way, like what they are doing right now. They're just going for that stealth play, like what they did in round number 1. So
Yeah,
they are.
despite the number disadvantage, no, they are still willing to do this.
I think
Despite
they
getting
are
4v3.
going to utilize their Guillotine Cross,
Yeah.
but they really do need to take out that Royal Guard. If that Royal Guard goes down, I think the defenses here of Lambuching ni Darling will fall down. But if Lambuching ni Darling is able to catch that or spread out perfectly without that Sura catching them with that curse circle, I think they will be able to turn things around. Again, Vindicated still has that sorcerer in their alive for their team right now.
Yeah,
So
there's still 5 minutes. There's still 5 minutes, so Lambuching play might play a long game in this
mhm.
scenario.
And Vindicated is going to be forced to push right here. Vindicated just closing in. Zen, Tsura going out. Of course, Moonslasher, Curse Circle, Guillotine Cross, attacking Lambuching ni Darling. Lost 2 members right now. Crescent Elbow actually dealing damage. It's going to be 3 versus 2. Sura and Archbishop left for Lambuching ni Darling. And Vindicated still has an Archbishop, Sura, and Sorcerer. Now it's going to be the other way around as Vindicated will go for that stealth play once again. I think they are going to their side while Lambuching ni Darling is going to stick at their area right here, but they are going to get forced to push. Meanwhile, Vindicated has 1 member scouting right here. Maybe it's their sword, maybe it's the Archbishop or Sura that can quickly get out. No, I think it's their Archbishop though. And look at this Sura and Archbishop play right here for Lambuching ni Darling. Of course, they are going to try and scout things out for now, but they need to find where Vindicated is. And Vindicated just utilizing this small space that we have right here to actually take use of that sorcerer to not get caught. But again, they can get caught with that curse circle and maybe that guillotine fist. That's why they have those safety walls on the floor. Alex Eterna and the guillotine fist can be really deadly in this situation, but yeah, that sorcerer is still alive. A soul burn, a dispel can actually change a lot of things. So
Yeah, that safety wall can
okay,
actually.
Sura going in. Oh, that's the dispel right now. Diamond Dust, Curse Circle, counter Curse Circle, Guillotine
Oh my
Fist,
god.
and that Sura will go down. Archbishop is the only one left for Lambuching ni Darling.
Oh my.
And it's 3 versus 1. Numos will go out. There's Turn Undead going out as well. And that's Sura, Sorcerer, and Archbishop. I think it's safe to say that Vindicated will be taking this round as well, as that Guillotine Fist will finish off this round. And Vindicated will be moving on to the grand finals.
Well, it was, let's say, a nice play from Vindicated
Mm-hmm.
because they were initially pushed back in terms of numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So they played it out. They were able to execute properly or find their proper angle in executing. Because basically, Lambuching is, let's say, buying time because
Mm-hmm.
there's still 5 minutes left in the matchup. So they can actually, the time is on their side initially, but unfortunately, Vindicated find the proper angle of execution. So they were able to utilize the assassin cross cards, the cloaking, and the hiding abilities of their
Mm-hmm.
characters. Was able to find the perfect angle to jump on Lambuching. Unfortunately for Lambuching, they were not able to like protect themselves from the initial jump.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the reduction of their characters. And
Mm-hmm.
from there, Lambuching was forced to find Vindicated because the numbers and the time is actually against them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I like how these teams didn't really give up even with the numbers disadvantage. But I do like the executions of Lambuching ni Darling at the start of the match and at the earliest or the first clash. But I do think that they need to follow it up and keep the pressure on instead of just holding their ground. I think that would be the best play to take down Vindicated. And Vindicated easily took advantage of that since they were waiting, they were on the defensive. Vindicated, of course, went for the offensive, and turned around the
Mm.
match.
Yeah, it felt like Lambuching always, let's say, pull back after taking some advantages. So again, it would have been a different story if they pushed their advantages. So the actually the two games showed that Lambuching can actually deal damage or let's say can actually take
Mm-hmm.
the game. But unfortunately, for them, they were not able to, let's say, follow up their initial advantage, and they always opt to, uh, let's say, make a standstill or let's say wait
Mm-hmm.
or play the waiting game. But then again, four characters, three characters are still more than enough to win a game. So that's what Vindicated has been showing us for these past two games.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, congratulations to Vindicated as well.
Yeah, congratulations to Vindicated for the first team moving on to the grand finals. And yeah, that's it for match number one. Since this is only a best of three series here in the semifinals, for match number two, we're going to be having Alpha versus Lulu Secret Shop.
Mm.
But before we head on to that match, RKM King, of course, we are going to take a little short break. When we come back, it's going to be match number two. So stick around, stay tuned, and we'll be right back. And we are back here at the Ragnarok Stars 2024 GGH Qualifiers semifinals. Once again, we are your casters. This is James.
This is RKM King.
And yeah, this is going to be match number 2 for tonight. Match between Alpha and Lulu Secret Shop. RKM King, what are your expectations for this match?
Well, I'm expecting a crisper match from Alpha because as we can see in their previous games, their first round or their first match was actually kind of tense because they got a 0-1 start.
Mm-hmm.
But from there, they were able to, let's say, get things rolling, and was able to, let's say, play for a comeback. So in this case, both of them, both Lulu Secret Shop and Alpha, should be able to execute well. Hopefully, they watch their games or they watch the whole stream after their games and kind of do a review on what to actually do in, let's say, in this upcoming match. Because again, playing fast, playing slow, the methodical approach, the blitz. So that's what I've been mentioning from the start of this stream. That can actually change a series. So one team would look like invincible when they're using blitz, but if they transitioned or if their opponent was able to bring them into a slow methodical pace, they look lost, confused, and somehow beatable. And yeah, so the play style, the lineups, hopefully we can get more of them.
And RKM King, what are you expecting from the lineups of these teams? Because I know we have that meta lineup and meta character that meta setup that these teams are showing us, like the standard mechanic plus that guillotine cross in their setup. But are you expecting something different? Maybe a wild card coming from these two teams, as we can see their lineup currently right now?
Well, Alpha's been using Shadow Chaser as part of their scouting crew. And they're one of the teams that's sporting Warlock as well. So
But hold on to that thought, RKM King, as I think they are going to clash right near. Alpha just don't have that land protector on the floor. Of course, they're prioritizing that safety wall. They want to stop that suicide destruction from hitting all of them right now. And Lulu Secret Shop just holding their ground. Of course, they will back out a little bit right here. Cross impact will first come out. There's that full strip of getting casted here on Alpha, but they are still doing that damage. Rolling Cutter, Cross Ripper Slasher on Lulu Secret Shop, Soul Expansion, and the Sorcerer is the only one left for Lulu Secret Shop. Actually, it was a quick transition for this round. Yeah, it was a very, very quick transition. I think that Rune or that guillotine cross of Alpha did a quite did a lot of damage, quite a significant amount of damage against Lulu Secret Shop right there. Going in with that cross impact, just taking down the members of Lulu Secret Shop one by one, followed up with that support of the Sura and Sorcerers, just scattering those skills to make sure that they don't they aren't going to be that at a disadvantage even if they lose some members. And that Shadow Chaser did a lot of things, like casting debuffs, I think full divesting that Royal Guard as well. And wow, it was a very, very quick transition for that round. Okay,
very swift and very crisp execution from Alpha. So if you're not aware, for our viewers, this map does not support, or should they say, discourage the use of mechanics, because it's, let's say, an open map. So not having a mechanic technically allowed Alpha to move faster as compared to Lulu Secret Shop. So in this matchup, the fluid motion from one team definitely showed an advantage. So the jumping ability, or should I say the initiation from Alpha, with that support characters like the Shadow Chaser that we've been mentioning earlier, and of course uh, the damage and the supporting skills from the Warlock
Mm-hmm.
played a significant role in eliminating Lulu Secret Shop in such a swift way.
Mm-hmm.
I think the round didn't last for a minute, so it felt like this is one of the matches from our first day.
Mm-hmm. The
Mm.
quick rounds,
Yeah.
right? Like the quick rounds. But yeah, it is a very open map. I think I remember one scenario in ROS 2023. There was a ranger getting utilized in this map,
Mm.
and it plays perfectly well, especially when you're using that no limit, and
Mm.
just taking down your opponent, the back line of the opposing team. Of course, you need to take down that royal guard first.
Railguard.
Mm-hmm. But since we have that guillotine cross, you don't want another squishy character or that squishy character in
Mm.
your lineup. So I guess most of them prioritize using that guillotine cross instead of a ranger this time around.
Ranger.
Um Not a lot of them are utilizing some skills like what we've seen in the previous tournament, like an ROS 2023, where they use those vines to take out the land protector, or they
Mm.
copy different skills. And the meta has really changed here in ROS 2024, especially in this map where it's really open. I guess you can say there's a lot of things that you can do in this map.
Mm.
Maybe utilize different classes as well, and
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's up to Lulu Secret Shop to to adapt. If they feel like they were not able to execute properly just because of their lineup, then of course they are allowed to switch their lineups.
Mhm,
So again, that's an available option for them. So
mhm,
it may not be, let's say, comfortable for most teams to do that at the middle of the match, and of course being down 0-1. But then again, as I mentioned before, uh, you might go down 0-2 without using all of your strategies.
mhm,
So might as well use it now, survive for now, and hopefully you play better in our grand finals.
mhm,
Because technically, this is the final four.
mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'm maybe expecting different things to come in the grand finals. Maybe we'll see some different builds or different plays coming from these
Hmm.
rare game. Here in the semifinals, I think they are going to stick to their guns, stick to what they've practiced and what they're used to,
Hmm.
and utilize that well to defeat their opponents here in the semifinals. But who knows? Lulu Secret Shop might be up to something right here. At the same time, Alpha, like what happened in the secondaries, they might get caught off guard in a single round. So yeah, the match isn't over yet. Lulu Secret Shop still has
Hmm.
the opportunity to strike back. But if Alpha keeps their momentum up and just pushes Lulu Secret Shop to the brink, um, it will be difficult to bounce back, especially if you lost maybe 4 members at the start of the match. It will
Hmm.
be a little bit difficult to bounce back if you don't take out the core members of the opposing.
Yeah, because that's one of the downsides of the mechanic lineup, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you cannot properly execute or delete a specific target, then having suicidal destruction technically is a disadvantage because you're basically sacrificing one job or one class.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, here in the lineup of Lulu Secret Shop, they are going to utilize that mechanic again here in round number 2. Let's see if they can pull this off. And Alpha is going to be here. They are going to scout things out at the start of the match as well. Now they want to capture the castle traps and protect you here by Lulu Secret Shop. I think they want to go the offensive this time around compared to round number 1. But you can see Earth Drives getting casted here and that land protector take that out. There goes that vacuum by Lulu Secret Shop. and just countered that land protector, and guillotine fist will go off. Alpha lost one, and there goes one down from Lulu's secret shop. Another one and another one. Cross impact is taking down Lulu's secret shop right here, as Alpha still has 6 members left. Another guillotine fist will go off, but Alpha won't be able to take down that Sura. Lulu's secret shop only has 2 members left. That Archbishop is on his knees right now, as the Archbishop will go down. The only member left here for Lulu's secret shop is that Sura, and this
Will
is
this
going
be
to be
challenge
hard.
time?
White imprisoned to catch that Sura.
Ah,
He won't be able to do anything right here. Curse circle, cross impact, and that is going to be a good game. Well played, as Alpha will be taking round number 2.
it was actually a decent start for Lulu Secret Shop. They were able to eliminate Shadow Chaser at the start of the game. But unfortunately, yeah, as what they mentioned, if you were not able to use the Suicidal Destruction, then technically that is a -1 for your, let's say, DPS or your utility class. So without being able to execute it, just being, because as we all see, uh, the mechanic was jump. The
Mhm.
damage output, the mechanic was not able to take the damage. He went down with his Mado.
Mhm.
So it was not the right play
Mhm.
for Lulu Secret Shop. They were not able to find the correct angle, and they were not able to, let's say, give the mechanic a chance to explode.
Mhm.
So yeah, so from there, you know, it's a landslide of deaths for Lulu Secret Shop.
Yeah, and Alpha just proved their experience here in this match as well. Again, Alpha was the GGH qualifiers champion
Mm.
in ROS 2023, and yeah, they just proved, they just showed their experience here in this match. But yeah, I think that's all of the matches for tonight. That is the semifinals. It's very quick for these 2 matches to happen, especially if the teams are really getting ready, getting set to make sure they have they're still ready and all pumped up for their match here in the semifinals. But unfortunately for Lulu Secret Shop and Lambo Darling, they won't be able to continue further, as Vindicated and Alpha will be moving on to the grand finals, which will happen on the 19th of August. That is going to be next week, Monday, 19th of August, at the same time, 8 p.m. onwards. So yeah,
Yeah.
RKM King, what are your thoughts for tonight's matches?
Well, basically the seeded teams actually proved why they are actually seeded.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I can say for
Mm-hmm.
today's match. Because yeah, so the utilization of the lineups, playing under control despite the pressure, I think that's the advantages of Vindicated and Alpha against their opposing teams. Because yeah, Vindicated has been put in dangerous situations, maybe more than Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
But Alpha in the previous tournament day, they were down 0-1 for their initial match. So yeah, both of those teams shown resilience and let's say endurance in terms of securing matches, because it's not easy to recover from disadvantages. And yeah, experience really does play a great factor. Again, your skills, your game plan, your strategies won't be easily executed because your opponent has a say against them.
Mm-hmm.
So your opponent might do something, or your opponent might get a jump on you.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, I think the experience is the X factor for these matchups,
Mm-hmm.
because both of those teams, Lamborghini Darling and what's the other one,
Lulu Secret Shop.
Lamborghini Darling and Lulu Secret Shop, shown that they can actually do something. But then again, those two seeded teams were able to secure their place in our grand finals.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, because those 2 teams, Alpha and Vindicated, showed us some really good plays and really good executions of their strategies and individual prowess.
Mhm.
I think we're gonna have a great match in the grand finals, RKM King. What are you expecting for our grand finals?
To be honest, it's either a Swift 2-0 for either side, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's my prediction. So I feel like it won't be a 2-1. So I
It's a
think
best of five. It's a best of five.
it's a best of 5, okay. So yeah, it's either a straight 3-0 or 3-1, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it won't be like 5 games. So in this case, I think if one team figures out the game plan of the other
Mm-hmm.
or able to counter what they want to do, I think one team can run away with it. I'm not saying it's going to be Alpha. I'm not saying it's going to be Vindicated, but that's what I think. Because the matchup, the lineups actually play really well in this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Because with the introduction of the Guillotine Cross, the burst damage it deals on top of what a Sura can do, and of course the mechanic. So those three, I think, if the teams can play those characters well,
Mm-hmm.
uh, they can actually delete the opposing team. That's why I think a 3-1 for either of these team is there to play.
Mm-hmm.
It's all up to them.
Well, RKM King. It's too early to assume, I guess, what is going to happen on the grand finals. But I'm quite excited to see what will happen, and I'm ready. I'm ready to see some high level plays come from these two teams, and finally
Mm.
see who will be representing GGH in the Ragnarok Stars 2024 in Bangkok, Thailand. But RKM King, I think um, yeah, that's it. That's all for tonight, actually, because yeah, it was a very great night for the semifinals. It was smooth. It was the executions, the plays.
Mm.
They were really neck and neck, I guess. It could have went a different way if they didn't execute their skill or their strategies and skills well. But yeah, it is what it is. And
Mm.
Alpha and Vindicated, good luck on the grand finals. Again, grand finals will be on the 19th of August. That's going to be on Monday next week, same time, 8 o'clock p.m. Only here on the Ragnarok or Gravity Game Hub YouTube. So make sure to set your calendars and stay tuned for that. Right?
Mm.
With that said, that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. And yeah, that we are your casters. This is James.
This is RKM King.
And we'll see you guys on Monday. Grand finals, guys. See
Yeah.
ya.
Goodbye.
Gravity.